Day 11. Simeon and Anna, worshiping through the waiting. It's day 11 and we're wrapping up God's Christmas story. But before we finish, there are two important characters that often get overlooked this time of year. Their names are Simeon and Anna. Their story starts in Luke 2 verse 21 when Mary and Joseph took a trip to the temple in Jerusalem to fulfill the religious ceremonies that were required of a couple who had a male infant. And behold, there was a man in Jerusalem whose name was Simeon, and this man was just and devout, waiting for the consolation of Israel, and the Holy Spirit was upon him. And it had been revealed to him by the Holy Spirit that he would not see death before he had seen the Lord's Christ. So he came by the Spirit into the temple. And when the parents brought in the child Jesus to do for him according to the custom of the law, he took him up in his arms and blessed God and said, Lord, now you are letting your servant depart in peace, according to your word. For my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared before the face of all peoples, a light to bring revelation to the Gentiles, and the glory of your people Israel. And Joseph and his mother marveled at those things which were spoken of him. Luke 2, verse 25 through 33. Now there was one, Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher. She was of a great age and had lived with a husband 7 years from her virginity, and this woman was a widow of about 84 years, who did not depart from the temple, but served God with fasting and prayers day and night. And coming in that instant, she gave thanks to the Lord and spoke of him to all those who looked for redemption in Jerusalem. So when they had performed all things according to the law of the Lord, they returned to Galilee, to their own city, Nazareth. Luke 2, verse 36 through 39. Both Simeon and Anna had waited decades to see the Messiah. They had lost loved ones and grown wrinkled and gray waiting, and yet they had not been idle. Simeon had used that time to develop a close relationship with the Holy Spirit, as evidenced by his life. After Anna's husband died, she devoted the rest of her life to serving the Lord through fasting and prayer. Through all of their waiting, they kept busy by worshiping the one who they knew would fulfill his promise. Simeon and Anna's example shows that the real reason God gives us promises in the first place is so that we will develop a closer relationship with him while we're waiting for the fulfillment. If we receive the fulfillment of our promises up front, it is unlikely that we would purposely position ourselves to receive by laying down our own lives and ambitions in exchange for what He wants. In other words, the point of having a promise is to help us focus on worshiping and knowing God until we desire to know Him for His own sake. If you're waiting for something this Christmas, we encourage you to be like Simeon and Anna and focus on knowing Him more. The promise will come in its own time, but the real treasure is knowing Him.